Hey everybody. Okay, so for tonight's homework, you were doing even numbers. This is the 4.4 division of decimals by whole numbers, and I'm going to write even, and remember an even number is divisible by 2. So let's take a look at the number 2. I'm putting mine on graph paper. You were able to get some. If you did not get some, put it on notebook paper and turn it to the side where it is horizontal, and you can keep your numbers lined up. First one is I have 5, 3, and 25 hundredths. I'm going to move my decimal up into my quotient. Then I'm going to cross that out. Then I'm going to start. 5 cannot go into 3, so I'm going to put a 0. But 5 can go into 32 6 times because 6 times 5 equals 30. I'm going to take the difference. 2 minus 0 equals 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. I need to check. So this, remember, I'm going to divide, then multiply, then subtract, check. I'm going to check, is my difference less than my divisor? Yes, it is. And so I can keep going. I need to bring down. And I start all over. 5 goes into 25 5 times, because 5 times 5 equals 25. And I subtract, I check. 0 is the lowest that I can go, so the answer is 65 hundredths. So I'm going to put this is equal to 65 hundredths. The next one we have is number 4. So I'm going to put 4 here. 3, 1 and 35 hundredths. Going to move my decimal up and then cross this out. 3 goes into 1 0 times, so now I'm going to extend that out. 3 goes into 13. I need to get as close to 13 as possible without going over. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to show you on the multiplication chart. So if you look on a multiplication chart, these are my groups. So I have 3 groups. I need to go through and check to see how many groups of 3 will get me as close to 13 as possible without going up. So I have 12. Well, that's 1 less than 13. And then 15. Well, that's too much. It's greater than 13. So as close as I can get is 12. And now I'm looking here. Well, I'm going to be multiplying it by 4. So this is where I have 4 groups of 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Then I subtract. 3 minus 2 equals 1. I check. 1 is less than my divisor, so I can keep going. 3 goes into 15, so here's my 3. I see my 15. I move up. It's 5. So 5 times 3 is 15, and I subtract out, and it's 0. So the answer is 45 hundredths. Let's go to number 6. 9 goes into, this is money, so I'm going to put my money there, $25.11. I'm going to bring up my decimal. Okay, 9 cannot go into 2, so I'm going to put a 0. So I'm going to come over here to my 9s, and this is where I'm going to be working from. 9 can go into 25, so I need to see how close I can get to 25 without going over. There's 1 group of 9, 2 groups of 9, well, 3 groups. That's too big. I have to be at 25 or less. So I'm going to come back over, and it's 2 groups. So 2 times 9 equals 18. And I'm going to take the difference. So I'm at 18. I need to get to 25. And that is 7. Is my 7 less than my divisor? Yes, it is. Check on that. And now I can bring down my next number, and it's 71. So I'm at my 9. I need to get as close to 71 as possible without going over. Well, 72 is 1 too much, so I can do the 63. Coming up here, it's going to be 7 groups of 9. 7 times 9 is 63. I subtract that out, and then that makes it 8. So this is 6. So 11 minus 3 is 8. 9, 10, 11. Is my 8 less than my divisor? Yeah, it is. So I'm good to go, and I can now bring down my other 1. I'm going back over to my 9s. I need to get to 81. And there we go. It's going to be 9 groups of 9. And so this becomes a 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Then I subtract out, and it's 0. So the answer is $2.79. And number 8. So for number 8, I have 3. Goes into 28 and 8/10. Okay, I know that 3, so I'm going to use my multiplication chart. 3 cannot go into 2. That's obviously, it's too small, but I can do the 28. So I'm going to put a 0 here. And now 3 goes into 28. I'm going to look over. I have 27. I think that's going to be as close because I can't, that 30 is too big. So I see it's 9. 9 times 3 is 27. I see what I just did. I got to put that decimal in there. And now I'm done. 8 minus 7 is equal to 1, and then that's 0. Is my difference less than my divisor? Yes, it is. So I can continue going. This becomes 18. Bring that down. I'm at my 3, and look at that. Be 6 exactly. So 6 times 3 equals 18. And I can subtract that out, and it's 0 because that was the goal. So the answer is 9 6/10. Let's look at this next one. Write the unknown number for each square, or each gray square. So one way of doing that, remember to check your work, we will have the 3 4/10 times 9. I'm going to move my decimal out once, so it becomes 34 times 9. And I'm going to put that this was 1 time because I had to put it back into my product. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 3 is 27, 28, 29, 30. And now I have only 1 decimal spot to move that. So for this one right here is going to be my dividend. So my dividend is 30 6/10. Okay, so for number 12, I'm going to go ahead and bring my graph paper in because I'm going to divide that out. So 12 is 7 is my divisor. I'm going to divide that into 30 and 87/100. At my multiplication, 7 cannot go into 3, and I can see that here it has to be 7 or greater. So I'm going to put a 0. Well, I need to get to 30, so the closest I can get without going over is going to be 28. That's going to be 4 groups of 7. So 4, actually it's going to be 4 and times the 7 groups is 28. Now I can subtract out. I'm 2 away from my 30. My difference is less than my divisors, so I can bring down my 8, and it's 28. Oh, look, I just figured this out. So I have 4. 4 times 7 is 28. That's 0. 0 is less than my divisor, so I can bring down my 7. And 7 goes into 7 one time. So the answer is 4, and I forgot to do that, 4 and 41 hundredths. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go to number 14. Dion practiced a long jump. He jumped 3 and 5 hundredths meters, 2 and 7,400 meters, and 3 and 3/10 meters. What was the average length of Dion's jump? Okay, so to take the average, it means that I'm going to have to add up all three and then divide it by the numbers that I added together. So let's take number 14. I'm going to take the first one. We're going to add up. We have to line up my decimals. So 3 and 5/10, or 5 hundredths, sorry about that. 2 and 74 hundredths. 3 and 3/10, but I'm going to put 0 as my hero. Add these up. 5 plus 4 plus 0 is 9. 3 plus 7 is 10. Regroup my 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. And bring down my decimal. Now I'm going to divide that by, I have 1, 2, 3 sets of numbers that I added together. So now I'm going to divide that by 3. So I have 9 and 9 hundredths divided by 3. So that you can see, I'm starting off with my 3. I need to get to 9. I can see that it's 3 times 3 is 9. And I subtract out. That never changes. You keep repeating the same process. This is 0. I'm bringing down my 0. Oh, look at it. When I always bring up my decimal there. And I'm bringing down my 0. 3 goes into 0 0 times. That's 0. I'm just going through the process so that you can see it. I still know that 0 is less than my divisor, and now I'm bringing down my 9. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 equals 9, and that's 0. So the average is 3 and 3 hundredths. This is average jumps. Okay. All right, let's go to number 16. This is all going to be on this side. A box of 8 snacks bars costs $24.72. This is a box that has 8 snack bars. A single bar costs $3.47. What's the savings on each snack bar if you buy a box of 8? All right, so let's check this out. This is for number 16. And this usually happens when you go to the store. They either have those bars, if you go by the vitamins and you have those snack bars, they usually sell them by the box or each. And I always end up looking at the calculations and those price bars tabs, and that'll tell you how much they cost each. So here I have 8 in a box. This is $24.72. 8 cannot go into 2, but 8 can go into 24 3 times. 3 times 8 equals 24. This is 0. I'm going to bring down my 7. Bring up my decimal. 8 cannot go into 7. It's 2. This is 2. This number needs to be either 8 or greater. So it's 0. Now I'm going to bring down my 2. 8 goes into 72 9 times. 9 times 8 is equal to 72, and it's 0. All right, so each bar, I'm going to write it here. is $3.09. And this is from the box. Now it says that a single bar costs $3.47. So are you saving money when you buy it by the box? Yeah, you are. Now it's saying how much are we saving? So now I need to just go ahead and subtract this out. $3.47 minus $3.09. I'm going to regroup. So 17 minus 9 equals 6. Bring down my 3. Is that right? No, it's not right. It is 8. And then bring down my 3 and my decimal. So it's a savings of 38 cents. Good work. All right, let's look at number 18. Adi divides by 6 and gets a quotient of 9 and 3/10. So what is the dividend? Okay, so this is what it is. This is here, divided by 6 equals 9 and 3/10. Now remember we said that we work backwards, so it's 9 and 3/10 times 6. I'm going to move this out once. So 6 times 3 equals 18. Regroup my 1. 6 times 9 is 54 plus 1 is 55. And I move my decimal over once, and so the answer is C. All right, last one for the road. Woohoo! Okay, so 7 students bought a ticket to the Science Museum. So they paid a total of $40.25. So I'm going to put science. This is 7 students. And they paid $40.25. Okay, 6 students bought a ticket to the art museum. So this is art. And we had 6 students. There you had a total cost of $31.50. What is the difference in prices between a ticket to the science and a ticket to the museum? All right, so I'm gonna flip my paper over here, and that way I have my space to work on. So now let's take the first one. This is going to be the museum. I need to find out the cost of each ticket. So 7 goes into $40.25. Bring up my decimal. 7 cannot go into 4, but it can go into 40 5 times. 5 times 7 equals 35. And I subtract that out. Leaves me with 5 left over because it's 5 that's closest that gets me to 40. It is less than my divisor, so now I'm going to bring down my 2, so it's 52. So I'm looking at my groups of 7. I have to get to 52 without going over. Closest I can get is by 7 groups. 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract that out. So it's going to be 3. 3 is less than 7. Bring down my 5. That's 35. 7 goes into 35 5 times, and that's 35. 5 times 7 is 35, and it's 0. So for the museum, each ticket is $5.75. Now we have the art museum. And so for the art museum, I have $631.50. And so we have, right, wanted to make this quickly. So 6 cannot go into 3, but it can go into 35 times. 5 times 6 equals 30. I subtract that out, bring down my 1. Remember, my decimal gets moved up. I keep doing that. 6 goes into 15. The closest is 2 groups. 2 times 6 equals 12. Subtract out 5 minus 2 equals 3. Still less than my divisor, so I can move on. 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract that out. It's 0. So the art ticket is $5.25. And the difference, so the museum is $5.75. So this is 0. The difference is 50 cents. So the answer is A. All right, that was it for today. You guys have a great evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow.